and welcome to Part 38 of my report on the McCarrick Report by Patrick Parson. Today we look at Chapter 11, Candidacy for the Archbishopric of Chicago, 1997, starting on page 125. It starts with Archbishop Mejia writing a letter on March 12, 1997, to Cardinal Lahi, a member of the Congregation for Bishops and ponente for the Chicago Provision. Now, a ponente is a member of a court who is assigned the task of writing the decision or resolution of a case. I have not found an actual definition for the term provision, but the way in which it is used suggests a church panel or committee for a geographic area. So provision in this case seems to be the panel examining potential candidates for Chicago Archbishop. According to the report, Archbishop Mejia's letter concerned allegations in re turpi against Archbishop McCarrick. Looking up this term, we find that allegations in re turpi is Latin for allegations of immorality. But Archbishop Mejia, who apparently was commissioned to look into this matter, suggests the multiple allegations may all actually originate from the same source and be the same story. He also points out that the nuncio, that is, representative of the Holy See, investigated the stories and found them to be unsubstantiated and not credible. He also noted that Cardinal O'Connor also seemed to consider the stories unreliable. Mejia's main concern seemed to be the public suspicion towards church officials in the United States, especially Chicago in that era, since allegations had been made against Cardinal Joseph Bernardin. Even though the allegations had been retracted, the atmosphere was still highly charged. Now we are going to stray for half a moment here and take a brief look at Cardinal Bernardin, who was Archbishop of Chicago from 1982 until his death in 1996. There have of late been some allegations of his own engagements in re turpi, but nothing official has been publicized, and I doubt the hierarchy is interested in pursuing any such investigation. Let sweeping dogs lie, so to speak, while we continue the practice of si non navem, that is, don't rock the boat. Now, getting back to the McCarrick Report, the ordinary meeting of the Congregation for Bishops was held on March 20, 1997, to discuss the provision for the Archdiocese of Chicago, that is, finding appropriate candidates for bishop there. McCarrick received praise in the provision, being recognized for his savoir-faire, that is, the ability to say or do the appropriate thing gracefully in social situations, his resourcefulness, fundraising skills, naturally, and superior intellectual qualities, among other things. And Nuncio Cacciavillan felt McCarrick was the strongest candidate, both because he was older than the other candidates and had been a bishop longer, and also because of his, quote, greater stature in the national and international fields, unquote. Ultimately, though, the congregation determined McCarrick was not the right choice for Chicago. Although recognizing his skills, the congregation said McCarrick had, quote, a tendency to be diplomatic and self-promoting, and in regard to him, a less reassuring voice has surfaced that now seems to have fallen silent. Unfounded, but in the flammable of Chicago environment, it would be risky for him to be exposed right now, unquote. That's kind of interesting terminology. Seems like it would be risky any time for someone to be exposed. And that is the end of chapter 11. McCarrick was strongly considered for the Archbishop of Chicago position. Obviously, the still unsubstantiated allegations against him were not enough to keep him from the ring of contenders, although they did keep him from the post because of its politically volatile condition. But there are more vacancies to consider, and next time we will start chapter 12 to look at McCarrick's being considered for the Archdiocese of New York. Despite having hit a snag in Chicago, his star is still rising. And speaking of snags, may we avoid being snagged on our own journeys to heaven as we say the Fatima prayer. O my Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fires of hell, and lead all souls to heaven, especially those in most need of thy mercy.